Hello, so today I'm presenting a paper called TransceiVR, Bridging Asymmetrical Communication Between VR Users and External Collaborators. In this paper, what they mean by external is anybody not wearing a VR headset. So the system allows external users to explore the VR scene spatially or temporally, annotate elements in the VR scene at correct depths, and discuss via a shared static virtual display. So they had 4 design goals for this project, and what they are versus what they actually implemented are both in this. So they implemented a static and stable VR view, which meant that any user could freeze any view and look at it for a longer period of time, support independent exploration, so browsing previous views, space or time. So that means either you could look at it at a different angle or you could look at it at different time frames. Augment conversation with spatial referencing, so annotate on their 2D screen and it would be annotated on the 3D screen at the correct depth. Support multimodal context sharing, so shown as picture-in-picture overlay on the VR headset. The hardware used is very similar to what we have been using in Movis. It's an Oculus Rift, and they use an iPad and Apple Pen for the external users. Okay, so this is what the iPad user sees. So there are certain features that they have implemented. The first one is clearing annotations, unfreezing time frame. So whenever you are annotating, the screen would be temporarily frozen. And once you're done annotating, you could unfreeze it. The second is share screen. So either users can share a screen of a static frame. Display camera, it allows the VR user to look at the external user through a live camera feed. Then again, we have the VR controllers, the control panel that every VR headset user has. And number 7 is using different angles to view. So currently it is at 0 degree. You can move it to 60, 120, and so forth. You can also see the time feed. So instead of seeing an angle frames at the bottom, you would be able to see the time frames. And the last one would be to hide the UI. Okay, so how they did this is they had a user study with 20 participants as pairs of VR and external users. They used Blocks, which is a 3D modeling application to perform robot assembly tasks. So the external user was given a guide and they had to guide the VR user to assemble the robot. They also added a challenging subtask to draw a specific foreign character on the robot. So they needed a lot of communication to do this. They were assessed based on task success, task completion time, and also error rate. The top rated features were annotations, along with 3D directional arrow. This is very important because when you are seeing a virtual reality screen, you don't know where a person in 2D screen has annotated. There, you could communicate and be like, oh, this is where, but the important part they added a 3D directional arrow that would point in the direction of the annotation until the annotation is on your screen. Share screen, which was used in situations where it would be distracting or creating clutter. And a share screen was also accompanied with time frames for further communication. So in certain times when they needed more explanation or more interaction, they used share screen with time frames so that they could ask about a certain point and certain instruction. On the right, you'll see what the results were. So the first one talks about the ease of understanding of VR user and external users rating for ease of conveying the 5 different elements involved in communication. The second one is Likert scale agreements to 1 to 5 by external user, and then by VR user, higher is better. So in all, the experiment was a big success, and TransceiVR was used more by the VR headset users and also the external users because it provided great communication. What I loved most about this paper was how detailed it was in its related works and how they also talked about having formative interviews with experts in the field, researchers, current students researching VR, and talking to them about how this has been played out before. And most of the times it has been using something like VR mirror, where they would just mirror what's happening in the virtual reality scene into a 2D device. And this is a way bigger jump to what we have seen previously. And it was a lot of information, but I try to cover most of the key points, but it's a great paper to read. Thank you.